In the heart of Scandinavia lies a country whose size belies its outsized ambition. Denmark, often viewed through the lens of Hygge, bicycles, and wind turbines, is rapidly becoming one of the most forward-thinking financial laboratories on Earth. In this third installment of our deep dive documentary on Denmark's 2025 financial transformation, we journey through a model of national governance and economic engineering that is quietly but fundamentally reshaping global expectations of how a modern economy should function. Unlike the economic chaos witnessed across many powerful nations over the last decade, crisis-driven stimulus, populist trade shifts, runaway inflation, or unchecked debt spirals, Denmark has chosen a path of deliberate calm. Its model isn't built on reaction, but on preparation. Denmark's economy is underpinned by what many experts now consider one of the most comprehensive and long-term investment strategies in the developed world. And what's remarkable isn't just the policies themselves, but how they're executed. Through coordinated public-private partnerships, institutional trust, and deeply embedded values of fiscal sustainability. In Denmark, financial reform is treated not as an emergency maneuver, but as a patient craft, one that unfolds over years, guided by macroeconomic simulations, rigorous data modeling, and an unusually disciplined political consensus. Zoom in on an unexpected area: defense. At a time when global tensions are rising and many nations are escalating their military budgets with alarming speed, Denmark is doing the opposite, but smarter. While it continues to honor NATO commitments and expand its strategic capabilities, it does so with extraordinary financial scrutiny. Each defense investment is tied to projected long-term national outcomes. New technologies, procurement contracts, and strategic deployments go through layers of economic validation. Military spending here is not a political win, but an economic responsibility. This model, though less flashy than major superpowers' massive expansions, ensures Denmark's geopolitical security without bloating national debt or compromising healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Macroeconomic foresight plays a crucial role. Scenarios are stress-tested using dynamic budget forecasting that considers inflation, international trade volatility, and defense supply chain risks. In this way, Denmark achieves national security through systemic intelligence, not reactionary fear. While its defense posture may appear restrained, Denmark is anything but passive in the global investment arena. The country's sovereign investment model, powered through entities like ATP, the country's largest pension fund, is quietly outpacing global benchmarks in 2025. These institutions have transformed into sophisticated capital allocators, targeting sectors that not only generate strong ROI, but reinforce national resilience. Green infrastructure isn't a buzzword in Denmark. It's a capital strategy. Billions are being funneled into offshore wind, hydrogen storage, bioenergy systems, and carbon-negative construction technologies. These investments don't just hedge climate risk, they create long-term cash flows while aligning with Denmark's environmental and fiscal goals. Similarly, Denmark is positioning itself as a leader in health technology. From telemedicine platforms supported by AI to pharmaceutical R&D hubs backed by government grants and private equity, the country is rethinking healthcare as both a human right and an exportable service economy. These investment streams are directed by highly autonomous state bodies, staffed with professionals from both the private sector and civil service, creating a hybrid brain trust that balances innovation with accountability. Crucially, these organizations are mandated to think in generational terms, not electoral cycles. One cannot understand Denmark's financial transformation without acknowledging its cultural architecture. From classrooms to boardrooms, fiscal intelligence is not just taught, it's modeled. Economic literacy programs begin as early as primary school, where children are introduced to concepts of saving, inflation, compound interest, and even ESG investing. This culture of intergenerational responsibility has created a populace that isn't just economically literate, but actively engaged. Government policies face less political resistance because the public understands the trade-offs. They know why capital must be preserved, how sovereign funds work, and how long-term investments generate benefits that may take decades to materialize. It's a powerful shift, Where many Western nations are struggling to convince citizens to trust economic policies or invest in pension schemes, Denmark is fostering a generation of citizens who demand such policies and help shape them. Denmark's fintech landscape. While much of the world's fintech space has been dominated by Silicon Valley-style disruption, Denmark is taking a different route, one that is deeply embedded within national policy frameworks. Fintech startups here aren't simply building banking apps. They're creating civic-aligned platforms. Budgeting tools are linked to national tax databases. Investment apps offer ESG portfolios pre-screened by Danish regulatory standards. Real-time economic updates, ranging from inflation trends to utility pricing, are personalized for each user and tied to national forecasts. This integration is no accident. The Danish government provides direct subsidies, access to regulatory sandboxes, and even national data feeds to fintech developers. On one condition, user data must remain sovereign, algorithmic operations must be auditable, and all platforms must align with Denmark's national financial ethics. The result? A low-risk, high-trust digital financial sector that expands access to capital without increasing vulnerability to bubbles or manipulation. While countries across the globe grapple with growing distrust in public institutions, Denmark has flipped the script. The nation has adopted what many are calling radical financial transparency. The entire national budget is accessible online, broken down not just by sector or department, but by individual program. Interactive dashboards allow citizens to track everything from renewable energy subsidies to military hardware costs to AI research grants. Citizens can leave comments, propose amendments, and even vote in pilot projects designed to test new budgeting ideas. This isn't gimmickry, it's governance, and it's working. Over 70% of Danes report trust in their financial institutions, a staggering figure compared to the OECD average. Naturally, the question arises, can this Danish model be replicated? The answer is, not entirely, but its principles can. Denmark benefits from unique conditions: small population, high social cohesion, and a parliamentary system conducive to consensus. However, the foundations of its strategy, data-led planning, financial transparency, investment autonomy, and civic engagement are replicable. Countries like the Netherlands, Finland, and even certain regions in Canada and Australia are beginning to pilot similar frameworks. The key lies in adapting to local conditions while maintaining core pillars: generational thinking, public-private trust, and fiscal foresight. Short-termism, Denmark is betting on a different path. Its approach is not flashy or ideological. It is deeply methodical. From how it budgets for missiles to how it funds math textbooks, Denmark applies the same principles: discipline, clarity, and long-range intent. This is not utopia. Denmark still faces challenges: immigration integration, housing affordability, and energy security among them. But what it offers is a rare thing in global economics: coherence. As the rest of the world navigates inflation shocks, supply chain crises, and monetary uncertainty, Denmark has decided not to chase the winds. It has built a sailboat, balanced, well-rigged, and pointed toward the horizon. And as investors, economists, and policymakers look for new paradigms, they may do well to study this small nation with big ideas, because Denmark isn't just managing its future, it's quietly engineering it. Stay with us as we continue our global financial documentary series, decoding how smart economies are rewriting the rules of capitalism, one strategic decision at a time. See you in the next video.